Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Fresh Off the Field, presented to you by WTK's Rock Solid Sports. I got my guy Chris Clark with me here tonight. I'm your host, Jack Foster. We're recapping Tennessee's 66-24 win over the Missouri Tigers here in Neyland Stadium. The final home game of the season. It was senior day for a lot of seniors, and they sent them out right with over a 40-point win. Chris, it was close for a while. First half wasn't perfect, but man, did they lay it on the second half.
Yeah, we saw sort of a slower start than we're used to seeing. Tennessee got out with that early touchdown, but then there was some back and forth going on. Missouri kept it somewhat close. You had the 11-point lead going into halftime. Tennessee, of course, started to get it going. The defense came out, had a really good game. Struggled a bit with the QB runs here and there, but for the most part, they were able to contain the receivers. They did a very good job on that front.
Yeah, and you mentioned the receiver. Cedric Tillman was out today. He wasn't even injured. The ankle is not a problem, but it was just the fact that it's wet. Conditions weren't the best. You don't want to risk a re-injury. They were confident with rolling out with Hyatt and Bru McCoy, who excelled today, both going for over 100 yards. And, this offense was just so balanced, so dynamic today. It excelled in all areas.
It really did. And then that's the beauty of this offense is we see a little bit of everybody doing something. McCoy had a great game today. How many Bru chants did we hear?
Yeah.
Hyatt with that just excellent trick play that Tennessee ran to go ahead and started to pull away from Missouri at that point. And it was just a mix. It was a good spread all across the receiving corps. Running backs had a great game today as well. Jalen Wright as well as, of course, Dylan Sampson, who provided quite the spark for the Tennessee offense.
Yeah, Dylan Sampson, I think, ended up leading the team in rushing with 98 yards and a touchdown. The freshman, a big day. Mentioned Bru McCoy, 9 for 111, and then Jalen Hyatt. 146 more yards on the season. He's now over 1,100 on the year. He's top 10 in UT all-time. He's 6th all-time single season in the SEC history. Of course, he's already the single season touchdown leader. UT had magnificent season from number 11. Now, the turning point in the game is 28-24, about 8:30 left in the third quarter. Tennessee goes on a 21-0 run in the next 7 minutes. And then in the fourth quarter, they tack on 17 more. So just what do you think led to that just explosion we saw?
Well, I think once we saw that tight game when it was 28-24 Tennessee, it was tighter than they certainly wanted or even expected, I think, from Missouri. Missouri did a great job staying in the game, finding a good balance of run and pass plays as well. And so they were able to get the quarterback doing good things. For Tennessee, at that point, it seemed like the defense and the offense both simultaneously just turned everything up. The offense was able to just start doing what they wanted at will. We saw receivers getting down the field. We saw offensive linemen making their blocks. A Tennessee team that was not hurting themselves. That's what they did a lot of last week against Georgia, and that's what costed them ultimately was not being able to establish a rhythm. On the defensive side, we heard Brandon Turnage mention it in the post-game press conference. They just started putting more pressure on Missouri, and that's what really started to get them out of their rhythm and ultimately hurt them.
Yeah, absolutely. The defense definitely stepped up in the second half. And you talk about the offense just today as a whole. I wanted to mention this. 724 total yards of offense. That's a school record. So, and they did
more than double, right, than what Missouri even gives up.
Right, yes, exactly. And Tennessee had 683 total yards of offense last year in Columbia against Missouri. So that's over 1,400 yards of total offense in Josh Heupel's first 2 games against Missouri.
Absolutely, and I think it's what Heupel's establishing here, right? Especially through his first two seasons. Heupel is now 12-3 here in Neyland Stadium. Yeah. That's an 800 win percentage that anybody would take in their home. He is establishing that dominance that, maybe we can't control what happens on the road, but here at home, we are going to be the superior team. We are going to do the things that will help us win the games, and we're seeing that especially. Heupel has done a phenomenal job, better than anyone could have ever asked through just 2 seasons. Tennessee continues their dominance of Missouri, 4 straight wins. They have now outscored Missouri in the last 3 seasons by a combined 163 to 60 points.
Oh my goodness, over 100-point difference.
Over 100-point difference in 3 years.
That is pretty remarkable. And you were talking about the, just performing on the home field. Tennessee went undefeated at home. This was the last home game, so they went a perfect 7-0 this year. It's the first time they've gone undefeated at Neyland Stadium in the regular season since 2007. It's 15 years, and in 2007 they went to the SEC Championship game, so it was a good year for the program. But yeah, it's Josh Heupel offense. This Tennessee team is just really, just so good and one of the best in the country. When we look big picture, I'll finish it off with this note. Obviously, Tennessee's in the college football playoff discussion. They're 5th right now. How important was it for Tennessee to lay it on thick against Missouri late in the second half for those style points that the committee loves?
Well, we know, looking at Tennessee's remaining 3 games, including the one they just played today, the competition is not what we would like it to be. None of those teams
strength of
being ranked.
schedule, right?
Strength of schedule, so Tennessee has to come out here and they have to put up yards and points, because at this point they are at the mercy of the playoff committee. Unfortunately, they no longer control their own destiny. So the more that they have performances like this, the better that they play, the more stats they put up, it just gives the college football playoff committee more reason at the end of the year to say Tennessee may have that one loss, assuming they maintain just the one loss. But you know what? It's hard to keep them out.
No, it definitely is. And what looked like in the first 30 minutes was going to hurt Tennessee's case for the CFP, it ended up helping them tremendously today with the 66-24 win. Hendon Hooker, magnificent. Joe Milton, by the way, last 2 drives had over 100 yards passing. Ended the day with more total yards than Will Levis as Kentucky lost to Vanderbilt. So arguably the stat of the day, my stat of the day of this whole college football slate on this Saturday here in November. But a great day for the Tennessee football team, smashing Missouri 66-24 in Neyland Stadium. For Chris Clark, Jack Foster, this has been Fresh Off the Field, presented to you by Rock Solid Sports.